For those of us who are following the old calendar, this Sunday we commemorate the Fathers of the Seventh Ecumenical Council. And in doing so, we don't imagine that every single one who attended was a saint, though certainly there were saints there, such as St. John of Damascus, St. Theodore, but it is their collective witness to the truth that we're commemorating. As we know, the Church has always resolved issues of faith through councils. We don't have a single earthly authority that makes judgments for the whole Church. We meet in council, and through prayer and the guidance of the Holy Spirit, we resolve our issues. And in 787, the Seventh Ecumenical Council was called to resolve the issue of the use of holy icons in Church. In 754, Emperor Constantine V had called a false council. False both because it taught heresy, but also none of the 5 major patriarchs were in attendance. And at this council, Emperor Constantine V sought to suppress the use of holy images in Church. This council was not accepted by the Church, and so in 787, a true council was called and the bishops gathered. They first met in Hagia Sophia, but then later moved to Nicaea, where that first ecumenical council had met. Nicaea also in Turkey. And the fathers met, and through the guidance of the Holy Spirit declared, not only are icons permissible, they are necessary. They are necessary in our worship. The council declared that every church must have holy icons. Every Christian home, our vestments, our church vessels. They also declared, of course, that our altars must have part of a saint's relics inserted into them to draw us closer to the heavenly realm. But with regards to the holy icons, the council declared that we must all reverently venerate the images, holy images, because icons are a part of the way that we are sanctified. They draw us closer both to the one who is portrayed, whose image the icon carries, and to the whole heavenly realm. As St. John of Shanghai in the 20th century said, icons lead us to the holy. They raise us to heaven because, as the council declared, holy icons are a visual gospel. They declare the truth, the faith of Christ. Now, there were those who rejected holy icons on the grounds that they called them graven images. But let us remember that even in the book of Exodus, chapter 26, verse 1, the Hebrews were commanded by God to create veils around the tabernacle, and these veils were to carry images of the cherubim. When we see that description, we're reading of nothing more than icons, images. This practice has been going on not just since Old Testament times, but also in the catacombs of the early church, the Christians who were being persecuted. We find there on the walls holy images, icons. St. John of Damascus says to us, to venerate the image is to move closer to the prototype. The honor we show the image passes to the one whose image the icon bears. Our veneration passes to them. And as St. Basil the Great said even earlier, whoever venerates the image venerates the one whose image the icon bears. Our veneration passes to them, because there is a clear distinction here made between veneration and adoration. Adoration belongs to God alone. But all of us venerate to some extent different people, different things. We show honor and respect. And so we venerate our holy images, but we do not adore them as we adore God. It is not worship. Worship belongs to God alone. And the Seventh Ecumenical Council based its conclusions on our faith in the Incarnation. Through the Incarnation of Christ, matter itself has been sanctified. Its very nature has been changed. Its relation with God is altered. The physical universe is now in a different relationship to God than it was before the Incarnation. Because Christ didn't just come and give us thoughts and ideas. He entered into this physical reality and he took our flesh. And doing so, he changed it so that everything physical may be lifted up in our worship of God. We do not venerate the wood and the paint and so on of the icon, but the image of the one who is portrayed there. It is the image that we venerate, not the physical substance of the icon itself. And St. John says to us, St. John of Damascus, icons defend, they protect our faith in the Incarnation. They proclaim it. When we use the physical things of this earth in our worship of God, we are proclaiming the Incarnation. So our bodies too have been changed. Our bodies and their relationship to God and our salvation has been changed. We now must see our bodies as a blessing from God, as an aid to our salvation. And so we must treat them with respect, with dignity. Our physical body is now important. And what we do with the body is important. We must guard against the body falling into sin. We must make the body the servant of the Spirit so that it is a servant that leads us to God, a servant that enables us to find salvation. So then let us truly give thanks, yes, for the fathers of the Seventh Ecumenical Council, but also for all icons that witness to God's presence in our world. But they also witness to our faith that we can be transformed. We can be transformed physically and spiritually in order that we may enter heaven.